Nchia Sonko and Confama eti4 enyina nimdie news eno na wasugu so awutie sabre yebebo ewra ensem no emu
for your chacha obi biara aye nimdie news na yebowra ensem nimu ana eye NDC akachi ena ehu ye papa ye nyina nim se NDC eba abai mu eye 4 months to 5 months mu a ena yenenam eyi a na ensem a ebobo efi NDC empeso aso no enye ade a eye fedi agro kra ye nyina yenim eye A+ ensem bi a ode betu dwa efa eye Attorney General Ayine ɛho na saa nsɛm yi ɛna ɛde nsɛm bebree ɛtwetwe ɛba yɛde ɛbrɛ atiefoɔ na yɛapɛnsɛpɛnsɛ ɛmu a ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa na adeɛ biem ɛna asa aba ɛfa nsɛm yi ɛho nsɛm yi ɛbaeɛ na obia expect sɛ nka ɛyɛ Attorney General ɛbɛba abɔnten na nka nsɛm no nka wɔde ɔno nso tirim pɔ ɛfa ho abɛto dwa yɛtwa yi a wɔamfa hwee ama na ɛyɛ ade a afei deɛ ɔpanyin no aba abɔnten de nsɛmfua bi aba abɛto edwa na owieɛ no ɛyɛ Kwame A+ asa si so biem sɛ ne nsɛm na wɔka no ɔwɔ evidence na ɔka nsɛm bebree ɛkyerɛ nsɛm bebree mu na edi kan no yɛbɛkɔ akɔtie ɛyɛ Attorney General Ayine ne nsɛm a ɔba abɔnten ɛbɛkaeɛ na yɛwie a A+ nso so nsɛm a ɔde ɛbaeɛ ɛwɔ nsɛm wei mu no na yɛsan so ɛde ɛno nso atoa so ɛde ama atiefoɔ.
Hospital going into one person's pocket. I can now confirm that at the conclusion of our investigations, in consequence, and in exercise of power conferred on me under Article 88 of the Constitution, one Mildred Donko, a former employee of UMB Bank, who resigned just in time to join the criminal, owned by Mr. Ebuahi and his wife, which received a substantial portion of the funds and was used as a conduit for funneling the funds into other companies owned by them. These other companies are Vertex Properties Limited, Vertex Solutions, and of course the famous BNC Communications Bureau Limited, which was, if you remember, that was a vehicle that was used to steal the evidence on the docket. We have charged Mr. Ebuahi with stealing, 3 counts of stealing, 1 count of defrauding by false pretenses, another count of willfully causing financial loss to the state, another count of using public office for profit and money laundering. His wife, Angela Ejeboateng, has been charged with conspiracy to steal, collaboration to commit the crime of using public office for private benefit or profit, conspiracy to commit money laundering and money laundering. In the case of Mildred or the company known as Advantage Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, my fellow countrymen and women, I am keenly aware of the criticisms that were leveled against me after my March 20, 2025 press conference. In particular, some of our compatriots accused me of judging Mr. Ebuahi and his dear wife prior to filing charges, and others opined that what was said of them should have been left to the courts to decide. I respectfully disagree for a number of reasons. The first is that I said nothing at that press conference that suggested even remotely that their guilt had been predetermined. Far from that. As Attorney General of this Republic, I am the first to acknowledge that no matter how watertight the evidence of a prosecutor is, the accused is still entitled to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. That is a principle enshrined in Article 19 of our Constitution. And I cannot go against that cardinal principle. The second reason why I disagree with those of my fellow countrymen and women who think that the matters are dealt with at these press conferences should be left to the courts is that the Constitution requires that we act at least in public office with probity and accountability. I see these press briefings, including the one I'm having today, as a way of breathing life into those cardinal values of our Constitution. Lastly, I think that there is absolutely nothing wrong with a prosecutor exhibiting confidence in his case. With particular reference to the case and the review, the diligent investigations by the Economic and Organized Crimes Office led by Mr. Raymond Archer gives me a high level of hope and confidence that all things being equal, I will obtain convictions on most, if not all, of the charges that I have heard today. Check numbers, and so on and so forth. We have persons with deep knowledge of the matter who have agreed to testify at the trial. Persons with very deep knowledge, primary persons who were close to the action, have agreed after having been, interrogated, about what they know. They have agreed to testify in this matter. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, when I announced the arrest and detention of Mr. Edu and his accomplices, and now there has been some speculation as to whether my press conference was yet another piece of political propaganda. Some media houses actually claim that I had been deceived into John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic. Let it be known that unlike some presidents in the past who were misled, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is on top of his brief and cannot be misled. Indeed, if any appointee would mislead the President, it would not be his Attorney General. So everything with documentary evidence of the wrongdoing that has been investigated. Having said that, I wish to let it be known that the delay in filing charges came about because our diligent investigation team came Water Company Limited. This criminal enterprise involved the purported provision of secured internet services to Ghana Water Company Limited by the erstwhile Bureau of National Communications, now National Signals Bureau. That is the national BNC, the sum of 650,000 Ghana cedis every 2 weeks for secured internet services from BNC. That is the Bureau of National Communications. However, for purposes of the payment, which religiously paid for the internet services, in other words, every 2 weeks when 650, instead of going to the National Signals Bureau account, it went to the account of a company known as Bureau of National Communications, owned by Kobina Ibuahe and his wife. Okay? And then they did what they wanted to do with the money. So for every million Ghana cedis to Kobina Ibuahe and his company, in exchange for internet services provided by the government. Because remember that the National Signals Bureau is a government agency. Now come to think of it, that the government agency is providing secure internet services to Ghana Water Limited, a limited liability company solely owned by the same government. And Ghana Water is spending money that they do not have. Okay? To pay for internet rose to 1.5 million Ghana cedis every month at the close of our investigations. Now, you remember that in 2020, Bureau of National Communications became National Signals Bureau. And so, because the contract documents stipulated that the payments be made to Bureau of National Communications, Ghana Water paid to National Signals Bureau because of the change in the corporate identity of VNC. What then happened was that any time the check was made out to National Signals Bureau, and it landed in the accounts of National Signals Bureau, Kobina Ibuahe as Director of National Signals Bureau, would then immediately write check to himself and transfer the money. From our investigations, you can see the movement of the money in the account. Now, today something happened in court. Counsel for the defense told the judge, but of course he's entitled to earn his fee. So he can say that I have been briefed constantly and regularly. I've seen the evidence. And anybody who knows me knows that if I haven't seen the evidence, I won't be in front of you today. I've seen the evidence. The reason why some people have opted to testify is because counsel can continue to, he will know that this is far from being imaginative. I have a very fertile imagination, but not in this case. So ladies and gentlemen of the media, significant progress has also been made in other investigations being conducted in relation to oral briefs presented to me in February. The investigations by the National Intelligence Bureau have been equally thorough under the direction of its Director General, Mr. Hassan Kipo, and guided by the team in my office, most often led by the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Filing charges hopefully next week. We have established that 2 million United States of American dollars was paid by the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund without board approval. The only persons who knew and acted on the payment were the former CEO, Mr. Solomon Asamoah, and the former board chairman, Professor Ameya Okunfi. Both will be charged next week. The docket is ready. We know the charges we are filing against them, so they will be charged next week. Some of the board members have offered to testify their office. And usually what I do is that when you offer to testify, I sign an agreement with you. And I immunize you from prosecution either today or in the future. So that is what I'm doing with those who are making office. So if you know, if you are a whistleblower, you know of any crime that has taken place, please come. Even if you are marginally involved, I'm prepared to cut a deal. And then we can deal with the actual criminals. Now, the investigation in the National Service Ghost Names scandal has also progressed well. And we will be filing charges against some of the persons involved from the first week of May. Also, in a few days' time. Other matters such as National Cathedral, mathematical sets, senior high school Wi-Fi are also nearing completion, and dockets are being prepared for prosecutions to begin. There are sufficient reserves of integrity to continue to perform the tasks assigned me by His Excellency, the President of the Republic. All those who have dealt with me know this for a fact, and the President would not have appointed me as Attorney General if he had questions about my personal integrity. That is why it came to me as a big surprise, aka A+. Took to social media to make spurious allegations against me, calling me corrupt and a thief. Besides the name calling, the Facebook post in its totality was a palpable falsehood. I was never involved in the passage of the sanitation levy, as I was not a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, let alone to be in a position to influence the composition of the membership of the committee. And I have the Hansard as documentary support for what I'm saying. I have the votes and proceedings of Parliament. Unfortunately, I left them in the office. I think I've come here. Yes. So for the media, the report of the committee as well as the vote and proceedings are here. If you want to do some research on the matter that he alleged that I was involved and I channeled, I made sure that the membership of the committee was, changed, and then the monies from the sanitation levy were channeled to my friend, and so on and so forth. I'm not friends with whoever was the beneficiary
Enti ɛne a ɛkɔtieɛ no ɛyɛ Attorney General Ayine, ɔno na yɛkɔtie ne na ɔrekyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm a ɔse ɔno deɛ nsɛm a Kwame A+ ɛka no ɔno deɛ ɔnnim ho hwee, na Bible koraa a yɛfrɛ no Bible no ɔno ɔnyee bi wɔ ne wiase ɛda. Atiefoɔ wo nso wodwene ho sɛn? Wobɛtumi de w'adwenkyerɛ ato comment section. Na A+ nso so ɛsan ba abɔnten biom san bɛpostiiɛ, na yɛnhwɛ ne post a ɔsan ɛbɛpostiiɛ. Kwame A+ ɛsan de bɛtoo ne page sɛ no, that is not true. What I said was because according to my own information, you went to beg for 5,000 cedis that you were going to use it to bribe the appointment committee of parliament. And for your information, you are not the only one. If you are an old fool, I will reset your brain. Stupid man. Hey, atiefoɔ ɛbobɔ ba. Kwame A+ nso so ɛyɛ obi a ɛduru ɛberɛ a na yɛka ne sɛn, ɛduru ɛberɛ a na ɔdeclare ne stance sɛ ɔbɛkɔ either NPP anaa NDC no, ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɔpanyin no tumi ɔkɔɔ for NDC side. Na afei deɛ nsɛm a ɛrebobɔ firi ɛhɔ ɛbaeɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa. Na atiefoɔ deɛ ɛbɛtɔ fam biara yɛsan de bɛma mo. Wobɛtumi de w'adwenkyerɛ ato hɔnom. Na A+ nsɛm no yɛnsan nsi so bio ɛmfa ma atiefoɔ ma ɔse no, that is not true. What I said was because according to my information, you went to beg for 5,000 cedis that you were going to use it to bribe the appointment committee of parliament. And for your information, you are not the only one. If you are an old fool, I will reset your brain. Stupid man. Na kyerɛ sɛ asɛm no ani ayɛ dene ɛwɔ Kwame A+ nsɛm yi. Na kyerɛ sɛ ɛberɛ a AG Ayine atumi akɔpie appointment committee a nka ɔde bribe ɛkɔ akɔma ɔmo na Kwame A+ ɛde ɛto edwa. Atiefoɔ wei ne nsɛm a Kwame A+ asan de aba. Wɔse ɛyɛ AG Ayine nsɛm na ɔkeka no, ɔntwa mmɔ ɔfiri sɛ ɔno onim nea ɔreka. Ɔkeka nsɛm bebree a atiefoɔ ani nnyae paa. Na asɛm yi it is getting interesting. So let's see what happen next. Nti deɛ ɛwɔ hɔ ɛna ɛde ma atiefoɔ. Ɛnkɔ nsɛm foforɔ mu.